This is the plaintiff, Daniel. He says he and the defendant lived together, and the guy fell behind on the rent, so he loaned him money to cover his portion. He can't seem to get him to pay him back, and he's tired of all the excuses. Bottom line, the defendant's a compulsive liar. He's owed $2,350 and is suing for just that. This is the defendant, Winston. He says he thought he and the plaintiff were friends, so they moved in together. Well, that was a mistake, because the guy's now lying to this court because he paid him his portion of the rent in cash and via a cash app. The guy must have fallen on hard times or something, because he doesn't owe him a cent. He's accused of running out on the rent. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $350 for lost wages.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Daniel, you're suing your former roommate, Mr. Winston, for $2,350 that you say he owes you for rent and hasn't paid. You have a counterclaim against him for $350 for wasting your time today by suing you and lost wages therefrom. So let me hear from you first. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I'm here today to collect the rent that he owes me. We had a verbal agreement that we would split the rent. Unfortunately, we did not have any written contract, but I do have evidence of him acknowledging the fact that he does owe me rent. I also have evidence of his mail coming to the house that has his name and address on it.
Okay, you lived together for how long?
7 months.
All right, and the agreement was you'd each pay what?
50-50.
Which was how much?
It's $1,000, so $500 each.
Okay, and he paid until when, according to you?
He paid the first 2 months, so he paid me $1,000.
Okay, so he paid, what months were those?
February and March.
Of 2022?
Yep.
Okay, so he paid February and March. When April comes, what does he say or do?
That was around their first trip, when he took his first trip to Colorado, so he asked if I could cover it for the month. And he'll
Meaning
pay me
give
back.
it to him as a gift, or he would pay you later?
He would pay me later.
All right, did he say when he would pay you?
He was saying next month, and that just kept going on.
Well, what happened then in May?
Same thing, next month.
Yeah, but why didn't you kick him out then? If he wasn't paying rent, why didn't you evict him?
That was my mistake. This was my first time in the real world, so we were very good friends at the time, so I'd feel bad for kicking him out.
Yeah, but didn't you feel like he was taking advantage of you?
At the time, no, but now I realize that was a mistake.
Oh, you think?
Yes.
So did you complain to anybody about it?
No, I did not.
Okay, according to him, you paid him the first 2 months and then just never paid again, and then he didn't say anything, so you didn't say anything. True or not true?
That's false.
Okay, talk to me and tell me your side.
Yep. So the first 2 months, as he stated, was paid in full.
And that was paid through a cash app, right?
Venmo.
Venmo.
Correct, yeah.
All right, and then what? And then what?
And then I had cash lying around, like savings. I had about $5,000 lying around. So then I gave him $2,500 to pay the rest in April. So then basically what happened was he took that, and then I sent him the $1,000 that I had on my credit card.
Wait,
Well, my
I'm sorry,
debit card.
stop, back up.
Yeah.
You had already paid him $1,000, so what are you talking about? You say, and I sent him the $1,000 I had on my credit card. I don't understand.
No, so if you check the Venmo statements that I sent you, I paid it in April. So basically,
You paid what in April?
the $1,000 and the $2,500
From the prior 2 months?
From the prior 2 months, yeah.
So you
Exactly.
didn't pay, did he pay you in April for March and February?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I hadn't gotten that before. All right,
Yeah.
so if I look at your Venmo receipts, I only see proof of you paying $1,000, which is exactly his testimony.
Right.
So according to you, you paid him $2,500 in cash for rent. Where's your receipt?
I don't have a receipt because I thought I can trust him as my friend, so I gave him.
Well,
the
I
money in
mean,
cash.
cash never leaves this hand until a receipt goes into this hand.
No,
And the person you definitely don't want to have a misunderstanding with is someone who's your friend, right?
I completely
So
agree.
if there's more of a reason to have a receipt if it's your friend, not less of a reason.
Right.
And if you can't fathom taking the nearest crayon and the nearest roll of toilet paper and writing down, I hereby acknowledge receipt of $2,500 and him signing it, if you can't figure that out, then you send a text saying, hey, can you just acknowledge that I gave you $2,500? And then he answers yes. And then you have your stuff in writing and you can prove it.
The plaintiff says he loaned the defendant money when he fell behind on his rent, and now the guy won't pay him back.
The defendant says the plaintiff is lying because he paid him by a Cash App and doesn't owe him anything. Let's listen.
According to you, watch this. Did he give you $2,500 in cash?
He did not.
Now what happens? So what else have you got to say? Because you can't prove your defense. He has the burden of proving his case. His case is he owes me rent. He lived with me. He was a roommate, and he was supposed to be paying $500 rent. I take it from your prior answers that you don't deny that. You were supposed to be paying $500 rent. Your defense is, but judge, I paid it.
Well, it was.
And it's a great defense if you can prove it.
Right. I mean, so if you look at the evidence that I gave you and prior, so basically the Venmo transactions, all throughout the history of me living with him, you could see that it was a consistent amount of times that I've paid him back when it comes to, you know, like when we went out, when we did a bunch of things in terms of, you know, just going out in general.
Yeah, we're talking about $12. One time it was 50 cents or something.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So, yeah, I'm not
that
talking
goes
about
to
500 bucks. I don't see anything that you paid him up 500 bucks.
Yeah.
I only see the 1,000 that you paid him late, 2 months late, and then I see nothing else because according to you, it's cash, and you have no way to prove it. Do you have any bank evidence that would show that you had pulled out $2,500 at the exact time that we're talking about?
Well, that's the thing. I had the cash lying around. I didn't have, like, it wasn't in my bank account.
Where'd it come from?
I had it saved up from a car accident.
Well, it came from somewhere. When did you get the check from the car accident?
Well, that was from a long time ago. So
then you just had $2,500 lying around for a year in cash.
Like I said, I had 5,000. I had 5,000 lying around.
Okay.
And that was basically my
If you had 5,000 lying around, do you mind telling me why it took you 2 months to pay February and March?
Because we were still deciding whether to, you know, basically.
I'm sorry, you lived there in February and March.
No, so what happened was.
Yes or no, did you live there?
But I was back and forth. I was back and forth.
I don't care that you shack up somewhere else. You were living, you know you owed February and March because you paid it. You ended up paying it in April. So those were months that you had agreed to pay rent. So if you had 5,000 lying around, why didn't you pay it in February or March?
Because we agreed, right, the first month, we agreed that basically I was not responsible for the payments until we figured out, until I was going to live there consistently, because I was still going back and forth.
Well, then why did you pay February and March in April? Then you shouldn't pay it at all because you were going back and forth.
No,
it wasn't consistent. You don't know it.
Because then we figured out when we were together, and we basically sat down and
You're
we
such
said,
a liar. My God. You really are. I mean, you know you are. I know you are, and America knows you are.
Okay.
You know that you didn't pay him that money. I don't understand why the hell you would continue to allow him to live there if he's not paying you the money. Show me your text.
It's right here.
Is it an Instagram or is it what?
When did you say you paid me in cash?
Don't talk to him.
I'm sorry.
Talk to me.
It's right here.
When do you guys move out?
August 12th.
Is this the first time that there's a text about this topic?
Yes.
Jeez. You have the patience of Job. Dude, we gotta talk. What's up? Can you call me? Then you write here, Costco trip.
That was a summary of things he owed me, but I don't have the receipts for all the Costco
Rent
trips.
1, rent 2, rent 3, rent 4, rent 5. And then you tell him how much you owe him. You say it's $2,823.60.
Yes, but I did not have the receipts for like the Costco stuff, so.
So you took that out?
Yes.
Okay. He doesn't answer you. 12 days pass. You say, yo, dude, can you call me? He answers on August 31st, dude, is everything okay? I was sleeping last night. You answer, well, you have a chance to call? Can you text me? I'm working. Basically, and you say to him, basically, my mom has a medical issue. She's fine for now, and a lot of other blank is going on. I just need an update on when you're going to pay me back. I saw that you got a new car. This is why social media is. I saw that you got a new car. It's like my daughter. She won't call me back. She tells me that she's exhausted. She's working 20-hour days, but then she sends the entire family like 4 cat videos, you know, of the cat doing something stupid. I saw that you got a new car, so I'm assuming you got your car situation figured out. To which you respond, sir, and this is in August after the two of you have moved out of there, I understand. And I'm sorry to hear that's going on with your mother, Dan. Right now has been really challenging for me. There's numerous things I've been paying, and I can't give you a definitive time when you'll get everything. As I said before you left, I'll do my best to send whatever I can when I can.
Correct.
Your Honor, may
Correct?
Yes.
All right. So the
But
guy
then-
sends you
yeah.
a text that says that you owe me $2,500 in rent, and you send a text back saying I'll pay you as soon as I can. But I'm supposed to believe that you already paid him the $2,500?
That's taken out of context.
How?
Because
I have the entire context right here.
No, but he's not referring to the rent.
Oh, yes, he is.
I thought
Let
he
me,
was
here, let me
referring-
try that again. Hold on.
I thought he was
No.
Okay.
Welcome back to the People's Court. I'm Harvey Levin. The plaintiff says that the defendant is a compulsive liar because he never paid the $2,300 for his rent. But the defendant says he can't believe he used to be friends with the plaintiff because he's the one who's lying to the judge today. Let's go back into the courtroom.
He sends you a text, we'll go over it again, where you owe him Costco trip number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, water and some other stuff, Costco trip number 5. But since he can't find those receipts, he's dropped that part, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why? Oh, because the rent was raised.
Yes. One month they used too much electricity.
Right. So he tells you this. He tells you the amounts. And your response when he says, dude, I really need you to answer me. I'm going through a lot, and I need to know when you're going to pay me the money that you owe me. Your answer is, I understand and I'm sorry. Right now it's been really challenging. There's numerous things I've been paying for. I can't give you a defendant. You'll get what I send you when I send you. But it's not about the rent, even though that's 1 inch higher in the text?
No.
Pull out your phone. Pull out the text between you and him. Take a look at what I'm talking about. The date is August.
Can I add something?
Do you think you need to? August 17th.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see how he lays out, oh, why'd you put it away? Take a look at it. So you see why I think you are talking about rent. You can see why I think that, right? Because he lays out in an entire list what you owe him, and then you say, oh, I'll pay you when I can. But you want me, not, what are you talking about? I gave you $2,500. You didn't say that. You said, oh, I'll pay you when I can.
No,
right?
because my understanding was he was still talking about some lingering payments about the Costco trip.
Really?
It wasn't,
what made you think that?
He put the
Because he
rents-
mentions a Costco trip above?
No, he put the rents. He put the rents because that was all part of like basically what we were agreeing on throughout the whole time that we were living together.
What the hell are you talking about? Seriously. What the hell are you talking about? I am telling you that he sends you a text saying you owe me $2,300 and whatever dollars.
Yeah.
And your answer is I'll pay you when I can. And you're still telling me, but I paid him cash.
Yeah, I mean,
but I can't prove it, Judge. Sometimes
the
I
way
really
he-
worry because some of my litigants are stupid enough to pay $2,500 in cash and not get a receipt. And then I'm like, oh, geez, I can't believe the poor guy. I don't feel that way with you because it's obvious to me that if on August 31st, you are saying to him, I'll pay you what I can when I can, you are not talking about just Costco because the list is a few Costco things and a bunch of rent. A big chunk of rent for each item that he lists. Rent number 1, rent number 2, and he puts the amount. It was $500 this month. It was $600 that month. It was $250 the last month. He puts it all out. It is 1 inch above in the text. So you're probably
that
talking
doesn't-
about that, right?
but that
Doesn't
doesn't
that mean, Douglas, that he's probably talking about that? Counterclaim for $350 because he wasted your time today? He wasted your time? Why would you wait this long? Why wouldn't you just say get out if you're not going to pay rent? And then he would have paid you. You see
that
him?
doesn't make
He's
sense.
saying that you're a liar and a perjurer, and you decided to bring this case to court, all right, and potentially humiliate yourself on national television because you're a liar because he paid you. So not only, I want you to think about this, did he not pay you and live there? And you continued your friendship like nothing because that's how you are, happy-go-lucky. But on top of that, he comes to court and he says, you're the liar. How does that make you feel?
I've made a lot of mistakes in the past. I definitely learned from my lessons.
That's all we can ask for. $2,350, verdict for the plaintiff, and here's a surprise, 0 on your counterclaim.
So the plaintiff prevails. He's going to get it all, $2,350, and the defendant, Mr. Winston, gets nothing on his $350 countersuit. I doubt you're surprised at that, are you?
I mean,
But you didn't win the countersuit.
yeah.
You're not
It's-
shocked at that, are you?
That is what it is. I mean, whatever the verdict was, I'm not
Well,
going to change that.
Look, obviously the judge just didn't believe you a bit.
Yeah.
And the evidence supports what the judge said.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
should
didn't
have.
pay him the
I should have
$2,500,
got my
did you?
receipts. I should have
No.
got my receipts. And
Yeah,
at the
you
end of
should
the
have.
day, I know not to trust broke college students. So,
Do you still say you paid him $2,500
yes,
or not?
yes, I do not deny that.
But you have no proof of it. See, that's your problem. I'm sorry. If you
no,
did,
I-
okay,
I
but
learned-
the
I
judge
learned-
doesn't believe you did.
I learned my lesson. So.
Good enough. All right. Then it was a good day in court for you if you learned your lesson. All right, Daniel, let me ask you. You've learned a lesson here, I presume. A big-time lesson,
Yes.
right?
Definitely look out for people. I can't assume that everyone's going to be nice to you, so
But you were so patient. I mean, really.
I've always been a very
That's what
patient
she
person.
Said. Yeah,
but
unbelievably
after
patient.
this, I've known to be that I have boundaries. I should set boundaries, make sure people don't cross them.
All right. If you learned that, you're listening. And not only that, you won. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Good enough. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye. All right, Harvey. That'll do it for this case. What do you think?
Well, Doug, look, we've talked about this before, and the judge certainly has, that you do not exchange money this way unless you get some kind of proof that you paid this way. In other words, you need some kind of receipt, a text confirming payment, an email confirming payment, but do not trust that the other person is going to be all kumbaya with you because everybody thinks that's the case, and often it's not.
How many random facts does John tell you every day? Do you remember them?
Oh my gosh. I always say you are the font of all useless information.
Well, it's my curse that I remember a lot of details and stuff, especially about history and.
Oh, it's just nuts.
It
And
sticks
sports.
in my head.
Right. If I asked you to please pick up the penicillin for our dying child,
Right.
you'd forget. But if
Right.
I asked you, like, who scored the winning run in a 1964 World Series, you'd know.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I would. Unfortunately, it's kind of a curse. It's like those facts are swimming around in my head, along with the jingle from every cereal commercial from the 1960s and 70s, and every cigarette commercial from that epoch. They're ringing around in there right now. Right?
That and the monkey with the symbols.
Right, in my head. Right. So I remember a lot of little details and facts, but I can't find my car keys.
No.
So,
No,
it's
yes,
a
and-
blessing and a curse.
Yeah, an idiot
at the same
savant.
time. Oh, well.